Hi everyone, Day here bringing you another episode of my The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Let's Play. So we finally got to meet the one, the only, the great, the fantastic Airlock Sholmes. He is just as zany as I never expected him to be. He's awesome, but he's also just a very crazy fellow. Outside of that, he couldn't read Asogi's journal, so I'm not really sure what can be gleaned out of it. That was a bad stumble. But anyways, we shall hop back into it because we did glean a slight bit of information from Asogi's journal. Susato read it for us. And upon reading it for us, we have two statements here that mattered. At 1:23 a.m., he heard a faint whistling sound. Then at 1:35 a.m., he wrote what looks like some sort of speckle band is dangling from the ventilator grill. The most interesting part about that sentence is simply what we saw right before this case even began, and the speckle band was a snake. So I'm wondering if it's a wedding band of some sort, maybe like a ring, which wouldn't make sense, or if it was a snake, which also still doesn't make sense. But alas, what we do know is that Asogi saw something at 1:35 a.m. and I don't know what he saw exactly, but apparently they said that that last sentence wasn't finished. So obviously maybe he got distracted. So, I don't know. Because if he saw a snake, I don't think he would even take the time to write it down, would he? The snake would be dangling over Ryunosuke's head. Well, no. Because he was in the wardrobe. He wasn't in the bed. I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. What a way to start the day. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you. My heart stopped. My heart stopped. Nearly stopped? I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. I felt like you go undercover a lot. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector, as well as staining white shirts and towels with blood. If there's anything I could do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. How did Susato not know he was here? How could he have blended in for 2 weeks? I call shenanigans. What are these specially orderies you speak of? So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? The full white glasses look. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. Like I said before, you flippin' suck at your real job. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. So, whoa, wait a second. So someone was out for Asogi? Assassinated? How could that have even been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. Not sure I like the way you're phrasing that. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. Except for when you couldn't see him. I assume But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first class deck. I was gonna ask if he was his next door neighbor, like if he was able to like hear what was going on in this cabin at all times. But by the sounds of it, I guess the crew are kept on a different deck. I've failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. Oh, I miss Asogi already. I know he was only in that one case. I know that. But still, it's like Ace Attorney likes killing off the mentor type person. Like, come on. First it was Mia Fey. Now it's Asogi. Like, come on. Can we not do this to people? I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So, if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Let me in next door then, darn it. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer. Of course not. We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety if you moved to even touch the handle of the cabin door. That stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose. I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. That is quite a bit of treason you got going on your belt, sir. Can't say otherwise. It would have been hilarious if he, like, cracked his knuckles, though, the other sailor. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? Sasato, what do you know? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I could present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. So, we can present evidence. I want to say the diary. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruto-san. Let's just select move, and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Sweet! We get to leave out of this crime scene. Seeing Asogi's body like that. Kazuma-san was this is nice. First and foremost, we must get out of this cabin. The passageway that connects the first class cabin on the SS Bureau. I like the way this looks a lot, actually. Looks very clean. 9th January, 7:48 a.m. SS Bureau, first class cabin, passageway. I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. Oh yeah, this is his first time seeing it too. And this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Twice as large already? Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. True. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. So suppose he's making sure no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like, people in handcuffs? Yeah, he can't really blend in with handcuffs. Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting in a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came on board. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Might as well examine out here. This book has been catching my eye from the start. That's a huge book on top of the table there. There's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate the compliment. He's sure in his job right now. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably, that means there was nothing to report. Something happened last night, darn it. Something major. I'm not sure what. That's the way to the second-class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it. Just for a moment. Let's not do that. You're literally put a huge target on your back for no reason. Things aren't exactly going well for me. I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman will surely shoot you dead. Which is worse than a Susato takedown. By a large. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started it with my Tarko running away. And there's no way I can run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. Please don't. Because that right there, that's something I need to think about too. This looks like a plan of the SS Bureau. It shows each deck. Look. The Bureau is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan? Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than a ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. That still has nothing to do with this. Like, at all. Oh, man, I didn't move over. 'Cause this also catches my eye. What do you think of this? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. I want to be free already. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop, this ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Jeez, okay. And this caught my attention at first. Ah, a trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. You guys have never seen... Wait, cheese didn't exist in Japan? At this point? Seriously? Cheese. Wow. I'm shocked. I'm stunned. I didn't think... I thought cheese existed for eons, basically. I wonder what that tastes like. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. Yesterday you had a full meal, if I recall correctly, because Kazuma didn't eat the chicken. He doesn't like chicken or something. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. Okay, and this is my door. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's. Remember that. He was the one that was supposed to be on the trip, not you, stowaway. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside of the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there? Yeah, that's quite a bit. Okay, let's examine door number 2. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one... She already said not to call it that. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Wow! Short shirt. FTW. Oh, excuse me, we, need to get inside this cabin here. You really think he's gonna let you into the cabin? Seriously, Ryunosuke? He's not gonna even let you touch the doorknob. The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out, just like the wardrobe. That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Although this man's version is definitely more effective. It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass. That's a problem. Then how the heck are we going to get in there? Well, he's sitting down there now. Maybe I just have to speak to him as he sits there. Couldn't hurt. He's the last thing in the ship that I haven't touched. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? Doesn't it look like his face has different colored markings over it? Like maybe something slapped him or something? I can't tell. It just looks like, you know, a bruise mark over his face. You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class lady's maid. Oh, we seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not a sailor. My mother gave me name. Okay. What's your name? I am senior crewman, beef stroganoff. Phew. The Best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganov, about this first-class cabin area. Here, we are in finest part of your steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens, traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing! But somehow, I let stupid Starway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you into the ocean. But Shogunov is not animal. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Duh. Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes. That much I know. Niet, I believe, is no. Da is yes. Or no. Genius. I could thank Clavier Gavin for the little bit of knowledge I have. And yes, he was from the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney series. The prosecution for that game. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Or tantalizing, rather. Oh. I want to talk about last night, though. Because we're missing a lot of blanks there. And it seems like something definitely happened last night. Are you here on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganov? Duh, all time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is that about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? It hit? I don't know. Or maybe it's it. I don't know. Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way. I said no. Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. This isn't the first time a sailor has avoided our eye contact. Something happened last night. Could you tell? And the thing that gets me confused about it all is that the sailors seem to be like evasive about it, but it seems like what killed Asogi could have been a sailor, possibly. But I don't know. We still don't know nothing about the Speckle Band. There was someone also in that second cabin too. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimesby Roylott. He is a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with the murder of a student boy. How can you be so sure about that, unless it really was a sailor? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in luring students from insignificant Far East Islands. Jeez, that was harsh. Oh my gosh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there was anyone in there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Well, that's that. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report the captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand loud and clear. You don't have to remind me. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Okay. I guess the door still? This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No answer. They have to still be in there. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. So he had company. Where did you come from, Sholmes? I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes! I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then... Oh, for God's sakes. Are you serious? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Stress relief. So the door was just unlocked. 9th January, SS Bureau, first class cabin, number 2. Oh, I remember seeing this part. Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. Yeah, that's what... We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True. This old man does appear to be the only person in here. But, oh, they have a cat or something. Do you see the dish on the floor? But in that case, who just screamed? Get out. All of you. Now. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimesby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are... I am the one and only, the actual Sherlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. No. Sometimes when you just say things clean and cut like that, it's just even more hilarious. I'm a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the cover of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? Sir, what do you think is in there? What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Maybe, I hate to say a baby, but, well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Oh my God, there really is something in there. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave now, otherwise I'll call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimesby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before this burly sailor returns. Freaking Holmes! Whoops. Sholmes! What are you doing, man? I want to examine this bag, though. Do you have a more, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's it. I try to address you as such, but sometimes the S falls off. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, you had said Mr. Maybe he doesn't want that. Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of deduction into service. Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. This guy is a loony bin. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in his cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what that is and do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? I could not guess. Why, the truth, of course. Of bloody course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Of course. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he got so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please! Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. I highly doubt that. I sincerely doubt that, actually. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Okay, sir. Do what you did last time, I guess. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I may ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me, is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness? The racism in this game is high. Or Russian on account of his dubiousness. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone. I like Ryunosuke even more now. That's right. I'm Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it's a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Exactly. Biased judgments are the worst sort of judgments. You should try to go in with an open mind. Especially if you're going to just throw out, hey, this person is most likely the culprit. Like, let's ease back on that without having all the information, shall we? That's why Ryunosuke's wearing handcuffs now. Shh! I must have complete silence. I like how the gentleman in blue is just like allowing this to proceed on. Holding a pair of scissors, no less. This is great, actually. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Huh? And number two, oh, there's a newspaper or something in their pocket, actually. Number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment, no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Ugh. Wait, what's going on here?
Oh, Naruhodo-san. I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes.
Didn't you see it technically earlier when he found me in the wardrobe? That was a great deduction? Ha!
Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
We're in this person's room, And he's just like, maybe I need to use these scissors on you guys. What? What an inevitable twaddle. Twaddle.
Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true.
I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face, though. Was he accurate? It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So, do I cordially invite you to, upon a journey of logical discovery, let us board the train of reasoning. Oh my gosh, we're about to board the Jolly Rogers lagoon of craziness with this guy. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. The great deduction, the game is afoot. Okay, that was clean. I'm not even going to say otherwise. Topic 1, old man's identity. So, the dubious looking Russian, Mr. Roylott. Obviously, what catches the eye in the first place? Okay, okay, this is actually awesome. Oh my god. It's the enormous pair of shears in your hand. And the newspaper in the pocket. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard, you sport. Now, moving on. I don't think that's right. It's so beautiful! The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article. Which, it would appear, you have read also, Mr. Roylott. Oh, I see where you're going with this now. I'm sure it needs no further clarification, nope. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Oh, that's also confusing to this person. The thing is, this doesn't even look like that revolutionary. Yeah, they have a beard and stuff, but still. See? No. Not at all. Not at all. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Vladimir Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Oh my god, that was so awesome! He literally used his hand and was like, Chun. Have you noted the article yourself? You decided to remove your incriminated facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Vladimir Bolshevik. I don't believe that. Now that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Oh my god, I love this! A revolutionary on the run. This is awesome. Topic 2, wrongdoing. Oh, there's more. I'm so happy there's more. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. I love this so much. Oh my god. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah! And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. Yeah, that shaking case. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be considering inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, once light enough to fit therein. A young lady? Don't be absurd. And what, pray, will be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your killer's coup d'oeil. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that one. It's not coup d'etat, that's for sure. Betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, more stimulating article. This is so awesome. If you turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. This is not it though, sir. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovic Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Okay, alright. I didn't think that his deductive reasoning would be that awesome to see, but shoot, that was great. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elamisky. I gotta admit, that was great. I've never seen anything like it. Susato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Could you come over here a moment? I mean, it was a lot off about it, but it was awesome just watching the animations play out like that. Could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Yes. I recall a discussion earlier, and at the time I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. He may look more like this man, but it's still clear that this is not that same man. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina? Indeed, a truly startling revelation. There is nowhere for the body of the ballerina to be hidden. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. It is! Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. Ooh. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? No, not by the picture. You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know, actually. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her will be poking out from the case. Oh, jeez Louise. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A trope of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking a contortionist in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing has turned into a circus itself. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susato. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? This sounds interesting. Switch some keywords in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. Actually, it is, Ryunosuke. I mean, to go through it, maybe not, but to actually view it from a third party's eyes like me, yes. And you, my good fellow. Sorry. Take a moment to look at your wrist. My wrist? What?
Well, where are your handcuffs?
Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. Oh god, that doesn't even sound good. I don't believe it.
Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel.
So he could have taken these handcuffs off of me at any moment's time. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrist when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. Yeah, please don't. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. I really do like this. Oh, Ryunosuke's in it too. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay, how's this gonna work? So, the dubious looking Russian, Mr. Roylott. Obviously, what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Huh. Now we ask ourselves, what could possibly want with such an implement? What could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Yeah, this confused the man.
I'm not sure, but you really use shears like that to cut off a beard.
I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. Oh, wow, you can't grow a beard at all.
Doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either.
No. Which means I suppose that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here.
Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters.
Alright, but how?
I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott.
I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on.
Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deductions better,
then what?
Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san.
Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott going to use those enormous shears for? Okay. Oh, this is epic! Seriously? We get 3D effects. Golden locks. This is fake then. The copious beard, thick hat. Oh, this is so clean. Seriously, this is so awesome. You're literally able to get the full 3D effects of the room. That is so cool. I'm sorry, I am just gushing over this. But golden locks. Sweet history. So this isn't a man. Golden locks. This has to be actual hair here. What the? What's this?
It looks like a cassette of stunning golden locks.
No. The color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? And how is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair?
Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful. It's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising.
Something's definitely not right here.
Yes!
This is... Okay. Oh my god! Ryunosuke! You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Like, seriously, this sort of thing... The jury... This part right here, this stuff is literally making this to be a phenomenal game. Like, seriously. Like, this is the sort of thing that could breathe life into the mainline Ace Attorney games. Like, seriously. Full 3D investigation, deductive reasoning, it's all great. Indeed, you have identified that precise detail I was intending to expose. This is so good. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. Yeah, it's not an old man. It can't be. You're not a man at all. You're a woman. And judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one's still very much in her youth. Oh no! If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks to blend in as a man, apparently? So the beard is fake too. Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Oh yeah, the newspaper. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Oh, this must be the prima ballerina. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that?
Yes, it was a surprise. Naruhodo-san, you're enjoying this, aren't you?
Sorry.
You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts from Mr. Sholmes.
Yes, it's so awesome! Oh my gosh! I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business.
Yes, I understand. Say no more.
What did he say? Not strictly calm. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now.
No, that's true. Given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman.
Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary.
I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now.
Yes. Well, it's amazing how you change one aspect and the whole thing gets scrambled.
Let's switch the evidence for something else, something that fits the facts as we now understand them.
For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. Yeah, it has to still be the newspaper, but this part.
Yes!
I love that shattering glass. It's so good. Oh! The animation is brilliant. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. No thanks to you, sir. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovic Ballet disappears from Shanghai. That is my favorite one. And it turns black and then he just points and is like, we're here again. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovic ballerina's prima ballerina, Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Be careful with the shears, please. They like showing people get stabbed with stuff in here, don't they? Roylott. Oh. The nose was fake too. That makes sense.
You're right. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone.
A ballerina on the run. Soft. Oh yeah, topic 2. Well, she obviously didn't kidnap herself, so this is completely wrong. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. This is so good. The writing is superb to me. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the first of glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. This woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes, exactly. So clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well.
No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all.
In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? Ha, I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again.
You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes?
Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Okay, so traveling case. Oh, the tiaras. Just changed a little bit. It must be the tiara that she. Oh yeah, she was looking at the tiara.
Yes.
But there is something in the case too. The proof of your crime is surely that tiara. Ah! I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovik Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. Yes, it is. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft.
Oh no!
Yes, you left your ballet trope, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you.
Ah!
I like her earrings too. Those are nice.
I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Perugia. It belongs to me.
This girl is only 15 years old, and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely.
Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now.
Come, come. Let us not be hasty.
What the?
There remains one unsolved mystery about you.
Mystery? What do you mean?
You have staunchly refused to open this troubling case of yours in our presence, and the case was definitely filled with something. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. And I saw a dish on the floor, so it might be a cat or something. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'œil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf.
He's completely changed tact with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you?
Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely.
Oh, do you think so?
Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her.
Yes, that's true. But still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself.
Then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. And it must be somewhere in the same area if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn.
I agree. That's the only answer.
Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Okay, let's see here. Oh, yeah, she has a pet, so it has to be the sign.
Yes!
There has to be like a cat or something in there. I am holding firm to that. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside the case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. Yep, it's a kitten. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. We only saw that once, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move on its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your trifling case. Ryunosuke is totally involved. It's the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet. Ah! Ryunosuke is so into it. He can't say otherwise. Possession of a prohibited animal. Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary. I love it. This was great. Oh my goodness. This was so good. So clearly you aren't who you said you were. Sadly, this is where we're going to have to end this episode. It's been a great ride. I take back everything I said about Sholmes. Yeah, his reasoning was completely misguided, but guess what? The adventure to get to the real answers, the true deduction reasoning was amazing. I loved it. I truly did. Well, that's going to be that. And until next time, we're going to probably figure out what kind of pet she's keeping hostage in there. I have already said it a billion times, but I'm going to stick hold with a kitten. I can't really see it being a puppy or something like that. I'll be shocked if it is. But anyways, until next time, I hope you all have a great and wonderful day. Thanks so much for riding along with me. Bye.